CheapeOne, I'm Hugo.
I'm Jake.
Welcome to Ask Hugo. I forgot the number episodes ago. I don't know why I go in with the beat as if I'm gonna do, like, and this is number, blah, 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 blah.
No. We've abandoned all numeration. All of these are one long episode that we will mash up at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you can binge it.
It'll be our, was that YouTube thing they do every year with Will Smith now?
Rewind?
That's it.
Oh.
But better. Goddamn lady ass Hugo. Dear Hugo and Jake, since Jake has been whoring himself out lately, how much for him to show his tits? I would ask Hugo, but I know he's already done this. I haven't looked at Butter the Same, godless lesbian. I actually have an answer for this. And it's a steep price.
Let me, first of all, for those of you, it's probably been long enough where it
5 years? 4 years?
Enough where it bears explanation. We did a charity stream 1 year for St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
$50,000 dues sent to cancer kids,
No, it was 10. It was 10 something.
Was it?
Yeah,
for that one?
It was tits for 10K for that one, remember?
Oh, you're right. That was a different one. So, yeah.
So we raised like 10K for St. Jude's, and when we did that, our goal was if we get $10,000, I'd put butter on my nipples and lick it off, and I did. That's there out there if you want to find it. I'm not going to insert the clip here.
Yeah, it was an apology stream because we make fun of cancer kids a lot in the course of this show.
Sure. $10,000 will probably pay them off. Shut up, cancer kids!
Well, they're already very quiet at the end. So, we need to do another one now.
Yeah.
My chat, because I do, she's talking about Twitch, so I've been whoring myself out on Twitch. I have purple hair again. You may have noticed.
It's a deeper purple. It is a royal purple.
It makes my hair look very dark. It looks like I saw a gray hair and freaked out.
Yeah.
It's much darker than I imagined, but it'll lighten up over time.
It's like a lilac took a shit on your head.
If you follow me on Twitter, you may have seen I had a full face of makeup yesterday. Do you wanna see? You haven't seen this yet.
Sure.
So I'll show you my face. I did a little video. Just a little tiny one. And because I looked kind of like a mix between Ursula from Little Mermaid and a person that needs coupons.
See your manager, please. I had coupons. So what if they're expired? Take them anyway. My
She
husband.
picks a really good tone of
gave me the
lipstick for
credit
your hair
card this
color. Like
weekend.
it's.
Do you like it?
So yeah,
Cute.
and also it was Sarah's foundation,
Sure.
and I'm pretty white.
You can tell
Sarah
she's paler.
White.
Yeah.
And oh boy, did that make me look like a little geisha.
Like if it was the times when people were wearing powdered wigs, they'd be like,
Yeah.
"She looks so healthy."
Yeah, I've never worn makeup before that moment, and so that was my experience, and that's over now.
Aw.
Yeah, wasn't for me.
Eh.
But I thought it was gonna make me feel pretty.
Did it?
No.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, but the answer to your question is how much for my nipples. Once I get to 4,000 concurrent subscribers on Twitch, so you have work to do. If you want to see my precious nippies, precious young nippies, unseen by the internet, then you're going to have to do some work, okay? Twitch.tv/actualjake. You're going to like it. I just debated Jesse Lee Peterson. I put that whole thing up on here.
Did he call you a beta?
Did he? He called me a woman.
Were things amazing?
They were amazing.
Amazing.
I crushed him.
Shocking.
Yeah. Anyway.
What a high bar to...
No, I was just very happy. Anyway. TGM! Dearest brothers Victor, Hugo, and Rattlesnake Jake, I have an inquiry about tarot. I have never used it for divination, but I do use it as a reflective tool, a device for breaking up routine patterns of thought and forcing me to confront and evaluate a random part of myself. Do you see any harm in this? And more broadly, is the use of religious or pagan iconography for secular mindfulness a gateway drug into a more serious crisis of faith? So that depends on, I think, how you see those.
Sure, assuming from what you described, it sounds like you're basically using them as, like, a randomizer almost. Like, you're like, I got this card, which normally in tarot means, like...
Tarot? It's
tarot. I know, whatever.
Tarot. It's a miracle.
Fuck. I'd imagine it's like, oh, this means you'll find love or something. So instead of actually thinking, oh, this is divination, you think, oh, I'll use this as an opportunity to think about my love life or whatever. I mean, that's fine.
If you're using it as, like, cosmic begging, where you're kind of like, where you flip it over, oh, I'm going to find love, and then you, like, think real hard on it and stuff, like, I don't know.
Like Eat, Pray, Love, or The Secret. No, that's The Secret.
It's The Secret, yeah.
But assuming you're just using it to, like, be like, oh, here's a random life avenue I could think about for a while, fine.
Whatever.
I think there are other ways you could also do it, but if that's the way you
like
feel
thinking.
to do it, sure. Like just being like, what are the aspects of my life? But whatever, if you want to do it that way, you're not hurting anyone as long as you are fully aware, like, it's not supernatural, it's just a deck of cards with some cool art on it. Great.
Yeah, I think as far as gateway drugs to religious thought and stuff, people who are like, I'm spiritual, I'm pagan, like, you're still wrong. Like, that's not real. It's got no evidence. It's got the exact amount of evidence that Christianity has, as far as what... Actually, Christianity has more evidence. It has more corroborated evidence. Has the same amount of corroborated evidence as the two, which is zero.
Yeah.
Zero corroborated evidence for the divinity of any of the things involved. So, really, it's when you start entertaining supernatural ideas...
Yeah.
That's when you're like, ooh, ghosts, and you do a Ouija board, like we have one over here. Like,
it's a nice Ouija
board.
It
is real nice. We should summon demons with it soon. But
this October, we should do a special episode where we...
summon demons?
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna work.
I don't either.
Wouldn't that be it? That'd really blow up in our faces.
You know what? I'll be the person to discover ghosts after not believing in them.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Anyway, maybe just do some shrooms and have an ego death or something. I don't know.
Please don't. Been there. Not fun.
Destiny liked it. He described it like this. He said, I am more insane in that moment than anyone who is sane, and maybe more insane than some people who have actual insanity just in that moment. And he's like, I wasn't a person for 6 hours. Yeah. So if that's something you desire, go do that.
You ever just want your personality disassembled one piece at a time? No.
He thought he was part of the consciousness of another person. Yeah.
Drugs are a hell of a drug.
Cockles to the max. Would you think plants grown with manure to be vegan? That's interesting.
That was a
I
good...
actually don't...
I literally looked this up. I do have a vegan answer to this question, despite not being a vegan. From what I found, basically, they recommend you find foods and stuff that are grown without manure, but not necessarily because of, like, the poop part, because poop is waste anyway.
Ethics.
They consider, like, the animals... It's different than using, like, an egg of a chicken, because a chicken's not doing anything with its shit, or a cow, or whatever you're getting them.
And they're going to shit anyway, and you don't really have to coax it out of them. Like, you don't have to squeeze them.
Sure. However, they do say many manures, I'd imagine at this point, most manures aren't just cow shit mixed with other stuff. They also use, like, ground up bones, and sometimes animal urine, and other things like that. Animal byproducts, pieces of, like, animal that they don't use.
The thing is, that's, like, how all your plants normally
Sure, but I'm
not vegan.
Saying, they say try and find stuff that is not grown with manure, like, you know, all natural, not whatever.
Sure.
But I've never seen not manure, you know, labeling, so I don't even know how that would work. But from what I read from the vegan website, and of course this is going to vary a lot, I'd imagine, depending on the particular vegan, apparently some people do find issue with manure for vegan purposes.
Let's talk about veganism for a little bit. How do you feel about it?
I think it is ethically probably correct. I agree with them. I am a bad person for eating meat a little bit, not like Hitler level, but like, you're
like a high school bully in an after-school special.
Sure. And if lab-grown meat becomes a thing, which it surely will at some point, I will switch to that for ethical reasons.
I think so too.
Until then,
Yeah.
I don't find it enough of an ethical concern that I need to actually arrange my life around it. I have great respect for people who are vegans, who go out there and do that and spend the time to learn how to cook vegan only and making sure they're sourcing their food properly. Mad respect. Not for me.
People make it their personalities. That's my problem.
That's a problem with literally any group.
Well, I know.
So
Well, I mean, not people that eat steaks, right?
Yes, there are. There are absolutely people who are like, whenever veganism or vegetarianism, for that matter, on the internet come up, from what I see a lot more people being like...
Bacon.
Being like, oh, I just love...
Well, yeah, but that's not their person. You know what I mean? Like a vegan... Because it's so involved, not vegetarian necessarily, but vegans are like they have to be really careful.
Sure.
Or they're not being vegan, and that means a lot to them, so it becomes a lot of their life.
Yeah.
Whereas when you don't really pay attention, it's not that part of it. So that's what gets not really annoying to me, but it's more of like a... It becomes an eye roll situation where you're like, yeah, we know, okay, just do the thing, whatever you want to do, just do it. But like,
sure,
you know, it comes up a lot. But again, ethically speaking, I think you're correct. Do you see the PETA thing? You know Steve Irwin? It's like his birthday. You see the PETA thing?
Yes, I did.
So they're basically just like Steve Irwin, if you don't know, Croc's Rule. Basically Australian. This is very interesting. We would talk about Steve Irwin a lot because Mon is here. She's our friend from Australia, and so she's been here for 2 weeks, and so we've talked about Steve Irwin. Basically,
as you do, because Australian.
Well, no, because we showed Bob Ross and Mr. Rogers. And then Steve Irwin is theirs. Is there that?
Okay.
All of those are dead people now. And Steve Irwin died swimming with stingrays, got stabbed in the heart with the thing, and it was a really big tragedy. Took a lot of time. Anyway, he was a nice guy. He was really big for like conservation, animal rights and stuff. So PETA probably would have liked him in general had he stuck around. But they're like, nah, he shouldn't have been swimming with that stingray. He was fucking with the stingray. And it's like... Yeah, but also he's trying to save the stingray from people that do it with malice, so...
PETA, you've kidnapped people's pets and euthanized them.
PETA is fucking garbage, man. Like... Anyway.
There's gotta be good animal welfare organizations out there. Someone let us know in the comments.
The Humane Society, I think, is pretty good. I could be wrong. There's something wrong with all of them, pretty much. Anyway... We're Kitty. Howdy, Hugo and Jake. Will you ever do the adventures of Kenneth with either Skyrim or Fallout 4 like you said in your videos? I have an itch that needs scratching. Pa-ting! Wait. Pa-ting!
Okay, thank you. Your foleying work was was lacking there for a second.
Thanks.
I'd actually like to set up time to do this.
Yeah.
I have Skyrim VR, and I want to do that. So, like, next week, do you want to do that with me?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. We'll just have to take this over and record. But I really do want to...
How do we record the... Is it PS4?
It is PlayStation 4. I think I have a capture thing someone sent us, but also if I need to, I could set up like a private Twitch thing and then rip it.
Possibly. Deal with that.
We'll
figure it out.
Yeah.
So, it's on its way, I guess. Kenneth, for those that don't know, is on Unpop.
Well, that's even longer ago than Butternips. Yeah, requires
that is so Kenneth is we did a thing where you played a non-aggression. Really, it was very. You kind of have to watch it to get it. We played a character in Fallout New Vegas named Kenneth, an old guy. And there's sort of this like cult following in our fandom about it because it's so very niche. Like once you like that thing, like the only way to get it is if we do more of it. No one's doing that thing.
I suppose, yeah.
Right. So like I get it. So I like doing it, you like doing it. It was fun. It's just like it's like such a weird thing. It's kind of hard to like.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to rewatch those. All I remember is he disapproves of everything, picks up trash.
It's super funny. So I'm his conscience and everybody else. There's a ghost bush. There's so the glitches work with it, and it was a lot of fun. Anyway, that's that. If you are interested in that, I'm sure that you remembered to put the card at the end of the video. I would forget. You'll remember. CheapeOne! Dear Hugo and Jake, What is your opinion on people who hold Christian beliefs who believe that their pets, or for that matter, all dogs and domesticated cats, go to heaven? As someone who works in the pet industry, I've seen many pet owners and co-workers that express some platitude that alludes to that belief, whether it is telling the animal to be with a previously old and known pet that has also passed away, to telling them to go to heaven in a pet's last moments. It's heartbreaking to see anyone go through that pain, but I always find it eye-rolling, especially when there's no mention in the Bible that animals go to heaven or even have a soul. As Jake owns a dog, and we'll call Hugo Darwin's uncle, that's not terrible. He loves you like that much.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily reciprocated, but over time you have been warming.
Also, I have a cat as well.
Cat? You don't talk about the cats. You don't talk about the cats very often. They're
That's
relatively
fair.
new as well. So.
Sure.
I also have a cat, Ellie. If you, again, on stream, if they show up in the room, which happens, you get a sticker on the screen. What is your take on that as a pet owner? Oh boy.
Pragmatically speaking,
no one goes to heaven, but...
I just want to say, I understand why people think this. If you're already a Christian, why not throw pets in?
Fuck it.
It makes as much sense, whatever. And you don't want to be thinking... Because it butts up against this idea.
Yeah.
If you said pets don't go to heaven, which is essentially what the Bible says.
Yeah.
People back then weren't thinking animals are the same as people. That's not the point. A huge part
Some
of
people had pets, but yeah.
A huge part of Christianity is like human beings have this soul that is distinct and makes us different than other animals. So within the biblical canon, there's certainly a case that can be made, I think the stronger case that can be made, that pets don't go to heaven within the Christian canon.
I don't see, there's not really, besides just saying like, it makes you happy when you go to heaven, and pets make you happy, like...
But even then, there's
nothing that says pets definitely have souls.
Philosophically, from a Christian perspective, in my opinion, it seems as though, essentially, an animal, if you're going by the text of the Bible, is an empty shell facsimile of a living being,
Yeah.
and they're not human. They're missing an essential part, an essence that makes them worth having, like... I don't know how to put this.
I know what you mean.
In the first chapter of the Bible...
They don't get salvation.
In the first chapter of the Bible, God says, you are commander of all the animals, do what you want with them, eat them, do whatever. And also, the salvation
They're also made separately from human beings on purpose.
Salvation is for human beings, like you mentioned, not for animals.
Yeah. And granted, neither is sin. They don't go to hell either. They just don't... They just sort of...
So, here's what I think, though. I think because this butts up into some ethical issues with Christianity, because it would force a pet owner who loves their pet to say,
I'm not going to have that pet.
And also, God, an all-loving being, is all-loving, but incapable of the basic understanding of love between, like, a human and their pet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which is a lot for a lot of people. Like, I love Darwin. Like, he's a member of my family. He's an idiot, and I love him anyway. But, like, there's some people who, like, it's the closest I think I'll probably get, maybe, I don't know, to, like, having a child of my own.
Sure.
Like, you know, it's like a 15-year rental, and then they die. It's so, I don't know, there's like a, oh, it's hard to explain unless you have a pet and you love them, but it's something that once that's gone, like, it's not replaceable. You're always going to kind of forget, like, miss that dog. So, like, or cat, or whatever it is, rabbit, lizard. Yeah, and I think not having a God that doesn't understand that relationship at all is really odd.
I feel as though...
Or value it.
If I were to put this briefly... Basically, people's belief that their pets will go to heaven is a symptom of a greater issue with modern Christianity, and that is its lack of ability to address the darker parts and more apathetic parts of the Bible. Yeah. Modern Christianity is all sunshine and rainbows, and you go to heaven, and Jesus loves you, and blah, 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 blah. Doesn't address any of the bad shit in the Bible, and as a symptom of that, people think their pets are going to heaven. Because, why wouldn't they? That'd make me happy. Modern Christianity in the Western world is very egocentric. It's very, I'm gonna be happy when I die. I'll have my own mansion. I'll be with my pets. Everyone I've ever loved will be, you know what I mean?
Right, you have your own mansion, but do you have to clean it? Because there's certainly no servants in heaven.
I don't know. It's just, it's a big block of, I don't know, man. Life is hard. People are making shit up to get through it. I get it. I just disagree and think honesty is
I don't have a problem with believing it. I just think it's really inconsistent with what it says, but...
Yeah.
Whatever. Mean Person says, Dear Jake and the Funny One, do you think the crowding of candidates running for the Dems will hurt the possibility of a Democratic victory in 20... I mean, this happens every time there's not an incumbent on one side. The Republican field was huge.
Sure, I was going to mention that. Yeah. I was going to say...
I don't think that.
But look at what happened to the Republican field because they had so many candidates at once. It ended up
This happens every time, though.
No, last time with Donald Trump and everyone on stage, it was way more than normally run at once for, like... That stage was so crowded, I understand why Donald Trump stuck out to dumb people.
Maybe 2 or 3 more, but, like, do we have that many on the Dems right now? I think we have, like,
currently
6.
No. I don't think on the Dem side it'll matter as much because...
It's also going to be a shit show, right? It's not going to be crazy.
For one thing, I don't think there's going to be as many people. For 2, they are splitting up. I know the DNC announced how they're doing the debates this year.
They're doing 2 tiers, right?
They're doing 2 tiers, similar to what happened, actually, in the Republicans when they had a bunch. But the Republicans, essentially, the party decided, okay, these are the top candidates. They'll be in the A tier thing. And the ones that probably aren't going to win, they'll be in the B tier.
That poor guy from Ohio.
What
was it? What's his name?
I don't know.
Oh.
But what the Democrats are doing is they're doing like a lottery system where everyone who's running in the primary, they're going to get shuffled up and then put into like 2 tiers at least, but it'll be random. So hopefully both of the events early on or whatever will have a good mix. I'm interested to see these.
I think honestly, there's some corporate Dems. Is it Kamala Harris or Kamala Harris?
I don't know. I've heard Kamala.
I've heard both.
Okay.
But I don't know how to say it.
Sure.
We'll see when it comes out. She's not from our area, so I don't. But she's a cop. Not a fan.
She's isn't she? Yeah. She was a former prosecutor.
Not a fan of her take on how to jail people. Jailing more people is not a good thing. Bernie, of course, older, but like I think what I'd like to see is, this is my hope. I don't know that Bernie is going to win the nomination, right? But the conversation...
It'll push the Overton window of the discussion.
The conversation is going to be better. I don't really care for Elizabeth Warren that much, but she's fine. She's sort of fake. Like, she tries really hard to be like, I was a normal person. I haven't been in a while, but I remember what it's like. But she doesn't say that.
Sure.
She just tries to be the normal person she was, and it's like, clearly you're not normal anymore. It's fine. It's whatever. I don't know. I'm surprised at the amount of women. I like that.
Yeah.
I also worry because people who swung to Trump, like, if you're swinging to Trump, maybe voting for a woman is a little too much for you to deal with. So I'm wondering what's going to happen. I'm interested to see it. I'm not actually blown out about it yet, but we'll see once those campaigns start, because this time it's the Democrats talking, so it's not going to be this shit show please clap memeable thing every time, I hope, because there's not a wacky... Who's the wackadoo?
Memes. We'll get 1 or 2.
Like, is Jill Stein coming back?
If Biden throws his hat in, we'll get some good Biden memes, though I don't want Biden to win.
Me either.
I'm glad Bernie's running. I'm hoping if he loses, people who are liberal will still... fucking vote for whoever the not Donald Trump option is.
Because it's not Hillary, and that's important.
Yeah.
Because Hillary has this stink on her.
Yeah.
And, I think we all know what that means.
Fox News has been shitting on the Clintons for decades.
Yeah. And I wasn't a fan of Hillary Clinton. But anyway, I think I don't think the number of Democrats running, because I think they run their shit better than the GOP. So we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be interesting. I'm really excited to see what the presidential debates look like, because Donald Trump can't debate. The only reason he was considered a winner of any of those debates with Hillary Clinton is because she can't debate, and he can say zingers. Like, she's out here, she's bad at that. So, yeah, I'd be interested to see what happens. I think it's going to be less nauseating, because it won't be every week there's something horrible about Trump coming out. It'll be something shitty about one of them in a tax shelter, right? It'll be boring stuff. I don't really think, like, unless one of them is like Pizzagate's real, ooh, you know what I mean? Like I don't think we're gonna have anything like crazy come out, because like Bernie's already been vetted. All the stuff is out about Bernie, so like, I think it's gonna be kind of boring.
I hope so.
Isaac, dear Hugo, as a former Christian, do you feel suddenly sad when you realize that you will never see a dead loved one again? Especially in the case of realizing you will never meet someone you previously believed you would see again in heaven. That's interesting. I've never thought about that.
This is interesting for me personally.
Do you have loved ones that you miss?
I was going to talk about that. Not particularly.
Me
There's
either.
no one... I'm young enough in my life where there's not really anyone in my life who's died that, like...
We have grandparents and stuff, but like...
Sure, but like, they're grandparents. That's
Yeah,
what they do.
they kinda
You know what
die,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? That's something you're expecting. I haven't had, like a friend die. Like, if Jake died, I'd be, like, pretty bummed the fuck out about it.
I'd say so.
Understatement. But, like... That hasn't happened. I don't have a good relationship with my parents. I don't even talk to them anymore.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, I'll be bummed when my mom dies.
Sure.
She's nice. She's a sweet lady. She has her idiosyncrasies. But yeah, like, I can't really think of someone that, like once they're gone, like, I didn't have enough time, I guess? I don't know. It'd have to be tragic because, like, my mom is young to die. I don't think she's dying right now. Let me know if you're dying. She'll text me. She watches every episode.
I'm not dying.
I'm not dead yet.
Why does she sound like an old woman?
Because she's 85 years... She's not.
Hi, Jake's mom.
she's 30 years older than me. She has just turned 60. She's a good-looking 60. She's got time.
Okay.
Yeah, she looks good. She's like, she's very small, so... old people can start drooping. She doesn't have a lot to droop, so she's just sort of like, there she is.
Sure.
She's a little old lady.
Yeah.
This little tiny little person. Yeah, I don't know. I think, I don't love anybody. That's pretty much what it comes out. Like, I really can't think of it, like, other than my friends, like people that are young.
I just have come to terms with the fact that death is a part of life, and seeing people after they die is not something anyone had the right to promise me in the first place. So I didn't lose anything. I just became more aware of the reality of the situation. I don't know if that helps.
I didn't grow up with it though, so I don't like...
There is an aspect of like...
Is there an anxiety to that? Like, almost like a...
It's more, for me personally, it comes down to, it breeds this anxiety of... What is even real? Because you gotta understand, being told, like, I mean, this isn't a little thing. This is parents, teachers, authority figures as a child telling you, this is how the world works. And then they paint a picture of the world that is not at all what the world is like. And then as you get older, you realize, oh shit, the entire foundation I have built so much of the rest of my preconceptions and personality on is wrong. So you end up having to say, if I was so wrong about that, what else am I wrong about? And then you get obsessive about trying to fact-check things in my personal experience and trying to, like, validate the things that you think because you no longer ever have any sort of confidence.
Not a lot of tethers to...
Yeah, I don't know.
I get it. I'm sure that doesn't help your general anxieties.
Nah.
Like, I kind of obsessively fact-check, too, but I'm a nerd. It comes out of a place of curiosity and wonder, not out of a place of worry. So, yeah. So, like, you'll see me on my streams, like, if someone says something in a video or they're debating me or something, I'll often pause and Google something, and that happens constantly. Like, that happens when I'm not doing that in real life.
Sure.
I Google things all the time and check out sources. I'm constantly, like, getting this fuller picture, and I like that about the time we live in.
Yeah. This is why I don't like Elon Musk also, by the way. I'm not going to go on a big thing, but, like, I just wanted to illustrate, I don't like when people come out and say something, like on Twitter, he just said, like, yesterday, we're going to have, 5 million or whatever Tesla cars or whatever he said, I don't even know.
Securities fraud to electric boogaloo.
Yeah, basically, he touted a number of Tesla cars he thinks they will manufacture this year that is double that of their current manufacturing capacity. I don't like when people come out and straight up lie to people and give them a certain expectation, investors in this case, but it can be anything.
Yeah.
And then it's just based on nothing. You have no right to go out and tell people, here is how I understand reality, here's what is going to happen, when you have no basis to do that. You have no right to tell people misgivings like that.
I really hate bad faith actors like that. Like, that might be the number one, like that. I think that's why we take so much umbrage with someone like Jordan Peterson.
Sure.
It's because he just says shit.
Yeah.
Like Ben Shapiro says stuff, and it's not true.
And I generally don't trust
Tucker Carlson's a really bad example, or a great example, but a bad one.
When they say like what their motivation is, like when Jordan Peterson talks about why he's talking about a certain topic,
yeah.
I don't trust at all that that's the reason. I think he's the kind of person, and people like that, lots of ulterior motives, trying to puppet master shit.
Yep.
Like, no. Ugh. Anyway.
Lord Paprika, deet, whore, and pimp. I'm trying to transition, but I'm scared because of my grandpa. He loaned us the money to save my dog's life after she was run over by a truck, but I fear that he'll kill her if I tell him I'm trying to transition. This fear is based upon him telling lies and hurting my mother over her getting a breast enhancement, driving her further into her alcoholism. How should I go about dealing with these crazies in my family? I think I'm moving to Cali soon, but nobody lives out there. I'm lost. That sounds rough.
Yeah, this is tough. First of all, I'm glad your dog's okay now, presumably, after getting the loan. I would say you should not, under any circumstances, allow the fear of this person, your grandfather, to keep you from moving forward with something you know is going to make you happy. Because at the end of the day, at the end of your life, do you really want to sit there and think, I could have done this thing that would have made me happy and the person I want to be? Or do you want to say, I allowed this insignificant ingrate of a person bully me and dictate who I'm going to be? I don't think that's ever worth it. Your grandfather, at the end of the day, he might be uncomfortable, he might... whatever. Fuck him. Fuck him. He sounds like an asshole.
Yeah.
You need to do what's going to make you effective and happy as a human being, and if transitioning is going to do that, you should do it. And if he feels the need to threaten, call the police on that old fuck.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding.
Me either.
If he threatens an animal, you're gonna allow a person threatening an animal, objectively a douchebag move, total piece of shit, dictate what is going to make you happy. Fuck him. Fuck him and his anger and hate and misunderstanding. If he's willing to lash out at others and an innocent animal over something like that, piece of shit.
It's just, that's so venomous.
So I would recommend you do what will make you happy. And if that is transitioning, as it sounds like it is, you should do that. And you should be the person that you feel you are.
Yeah.
And if he has a problem with that, that's his fucking problem. It sounds like he already gave you the loan, and your pet is fine, which is excellent. Still pay back the loan, because that's the right thing to do. But if he has a problem, and he threatens an animal, call the police.
I can't imagine, like...
Cycles of abuse are tough. It's tough to look at a situation like that, and because the fear, especially in a situation like this, of an abuser...
That's real.
If you feel like he's going to do something to anyone, whether it be you or an animal, call the police.
Yeah, maybe do it. Maybe do it now, while you're watching. Like you might need to do it right now. Yeah, I don't think there's no place for that in any situation. We are very good examples of not putting up with that shit, and I'm really happy that we are. Because especially on your behalf, because you had it worse from both parents. I only had the one, and wasn't, and even in my case, it wasn't as bad as what you face. Like just from pretty much every level of it. And the way you handled it, I think was very effective. I just think that cutting people out of your life is a good thing. No one deserves a spot at the table of your life.
If they're not going to accept you for who you are, why the fuck do you want them in your life at all?
That's what I'm saying, man.
Not worth it.
You could. I mean, you're moving out to Cal. I don't know where you live now, but California is a pretty good place to be if you are looking for, liberal-minded people that are likely to support you. Take your pet with you. I hope the dog is great. I'm sorry they're not going to heaven when they die, but Give them
It's all right. You're not either.
Give them a good life while you're there. And yeah, I don't know. Do it. Like, yeah, live your best life.
Seriously,
because you only get the one. And what like that's kind of
don't let an ignorant person keep you from doing something that'll make you happy. Because that's their problem. Don't make them let their problem become your problem.
Yeah. Now, risk assessment is important. If you're if you're harmed, or if you are in immediate danger, like get out of the situation. Don't ever let that stop you from being who you are. So like, there's a balance to it. Like, I don't know if it's like. If you're black, you don't walk up to the KKK and go, ha-ha, look at me. But also, like, you don't hide in your house.
Yeah.
So there's a difference. But, yeah, I hope that works out for you. And we have a huge community of not just trans individuals, but trans allies and just LGBTQ plus allies in general here and on our Discord server. So if you are a member of that or just an ally or, if you're not an ally, I'm surprised you're here. But if you're one or the other, be on the Discord. There's lots of places. I don't want to throw a lot of work at her, but RGQ Retro Game Queen on the Discord, a mod, is very good with stuff like this. She loves people and she loves to help, and she's a dork. And if you need to reach out to somebody, she will at least have a possible resource for you. Somewhere like that, or there's lots of people all over. I'm sure H-Bomber guys, especially with the recent fundraiser, I'm sure he's had a very large influx of people that are very active in that community. So maybe I don't know if he has a Discord or a subreddit or something, but checking out there or just checking out local stuff in your area. Honestly, a quick Google. Yeah. I'm sure you have resources somewhere that's feasibly close.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's it. That's all of them. G Fuel, sponsor me. I keep putting you on my fucking show without money, and it's just because I'm thirsty. That's it.
You keep plugging them.
You're bad until you pay me. Never did it.
Anyway.
What are we doing next week? Next week I'm not busy anymore.
Good. Bible study and probably a Jordan Peterson.
Ah, Jordan! I didn't want to do that, but I knew we were going to have to. We're almost over it, though.
What
are we at? 9, 10?
I think we're on 10.
Fuck!
Oh, my book's up.
It's only 13 reasons, right? 12? 12 rules?
12, yeah.
But then we have the...
Some of you may not realize at the end of episodes when I throw books down, I don't pick them up.
They go right there.
They stay right here until the next time.
Yep.
I'm such a piece of shit.
It's okay.
We are on
10.
Looks like 10, yeah.
We are on 10. What's that one called?
Oh god, I lost it. Rule 10. Oh, sorry, I skipped all the way to the coda.
The coda.
Call it an afterword, you cunt. Fucking ass. Coda.
Yes. I only drink Perrier water. Minerals. It has minerals in it.
Oh, Rule 10. Be precise in your speech.
Fuck!
Jordan...
This is gonna be my least favorite one, right?
Jordan didn't read that chapter. He wrote it, but he didn't think about it while he was writing it.
I have Thanos socks on.
Those are pretty good.
Anyway, you can leave now. That's the end.
Yeah.
Hugo Reloaded, Papa Bird Jake.
Patreon in the description.
Stuff. At Actual Jake on Twitch. That's it. You get it. Bell or subscribe. Smash it. Whatever.
Oh, stuff fell down. And that's where that will sit for the next 3.5 years.
Yay!